let's check out the auto turret controls here.
Set up a perimeter. No one else comes across.
We still have teams on the other side.
No one. And shut down those cameras.
No one.
Looks like they've made it to the archives. And it looks like they won't be sitting a tram anytime soon.
Can you override it?
The archives are on a separate network. We're completely locked out. Not completely. What if we could find a short-range transmitter? Helmet to helmet.
And?
And then we convince them that we're with them. And the Alliance forces have been taken care of.
Good idea. See what you can find.
Anyone got some really good acting skills? Some improv?
The Lieutenant Commander has become very capable.
Agreed.
Commander, I found something.
Hmm?
What have you got?
He's got a transmitter in his helmet. If I can... Oh.
Oh!
Oh god. He looks like a husk.
Yeah, not quite. But they've definitely done something to him.
Engineered by Cerberus? They claim to stand for humanity, and they do this to their own people. That could have been you, Shepard. For all I knew, that's what Cerberus had done to you.
So, just for context here, for those who new to Mass Effect, what she's referring to is the Reapers, the primary enemy that we were at least fighting at the very beginning of the game. They, as we saw, have these husk enemies, which are actually converted humans that they basically can drain of, once they're dead, they basically infuse them with some cybernetics and reanimate them and turn them into what are almost like zombie-like creatures that are kind of mindless, but can still be shock troopers to send out on the front lines against their opponents. And so what Ashley is saying here is that given the blue eyes and the streaks by those blue eyes, that is sort of a calling card of Reaper technology, is the glowing blue bits. And so it looks like Cerberus has been using some kind of Reaper technology in hopes of upgrading their troops. I mean, how exactly it works and what exactly they've done, who knows, but that is a bad sign if Cerberus is maybe not turning their troops into full-blown husks, but doing something that is similar to what the Reapers have done to their conversion process. I mean, that's not a direction you ever want to go down, because if you do start to experiment with Reaper technology, then there's this whole indoctrination thing where basically exposure to anything Reaper-like tends to cause people to eventually get mind-controlled by Reapers. So yeah, that's not good.
How can you compare me to that thing?
I don't know what you are. Not since they got their hands on you. Is it really you? Would you even know if they were controlling you somehow?
That's not fair, Ash.
I'm just talking out loud. I don't need you to answer. I doubt there's anything you could say to convince me. I guess I just need some time to get to know you again.
Okay, and as Ashley is referring to here, we did work with Cerberus in Mass Effect 2, and they did kind of sort of bring us back to life using some kind of technology, and so Ash's question is, her point is, she has a point, you know? We don't really know how Cerberus pulled it off, and perhaps they did use some Reaper-like technology, and in which case that is inside Shepard, and perhaps we are more similar to that Centurion we were just looking at than we might be hoping to, or willing to admit.
I'm the same person I always was. Time won't change that. But if that's what you need, I understand.
Thanks for understanding.
You bet. Let's see if we can get that tram sent over here. Hello, this is Delta Team. Anybody there?
Where the hell have you been? Never mind, what's your status?
We're at the tram station, waiting for extraction. All hostiles terminated.
Roger that. Echo Team will ride over and secure the station.
No, you don't need to send Echo Team.
If they didn't, they'll figure it out soon enough.
We should get in position. Flank them when they get off the tram.
Good thinking, Elsie.
Okay. So, we can now move our squad mate. Well, I mean, we've technically done this already, but this is the tutorial directing us to move our squad mates over there. Oh, we are not even allowed to move. Oh, and there is the codex entry for indoctrination. So yes, that is the process that I was just describing, the process by which exposure to Reaper technology of any variety tends to... Oh, now we're allowed to move, okay. But yeah, exposure to Reaper technology of any variety tends to make it so that people will get indoctrinated, which means that they will start to get controlled by the Reapers. So I'm not thrilled about having everyone stand in exactly the same spot because of those grenades. So that makes me a little nervous. I feel like it might have actually been best to have Ash and Liara stay down here while we go back up if we're quick enough here.
Here they come.
Let's see. Because they're down there. And we still have good line of sight over here, but it means we are not all clustered together, so if they throw a grenade on top of all of us, it's not like everyone is going to go down to it. That would have been the biggest issue. They are all clustered together, and this is the perfect opportunity to do something like throw grenades. And that's... Yes! Going to hit them eventually. And oh boy! That is the kind of burst damage we are looking for with those grenades. So let's see, we could... See, that's a Centurion. So that's one of the tankier enemies that we can't so easily set up combos against unless we use Liara's stasis. So if we do that, we might need to either... I don't know if... I think Cluster Grenade should still work here, technically. We might even go that route, although I'd prefer to do it against enemies when there are more of them out there. Okay, we've officially fired our first shots. Would have been kind of cool if we had not fired any weapons at the first mission at all, but alas, it was not meant to be. Okay, this is a good opportunity for a warp that explodes next to a bunch of people. There are some Guardians down there. I think they did take the damage from the explosion. They might not have been facing the right way to avoid it, but they may still have shields on. It's hard to tell from here. So, surprisingly, Liara's stasis is already off cooldown. So, let's... I mean, we might be able to singularity you, but let's pull just in case you do still have a shield. Yeah, I can see the shield come off. See, he did still have one. But now he is defenseless. So, but there's also a Centurion down there. Okay, that might even be the one that we stasis previously. What if we try to stasis it again? That'd be kind of nice. There is another Guardian here. This one also I can see has a shield. Let's do that. Then now the Centurion is... Oh. Okay, so that's a good example. I wanted to use Liara's stasis ability as soon as that Centurion was more out in the open so that we had a clean line of sight on him. But Liara is currently on cooldown because she used what looks to be that singularity without us having told her to do so. So that's unfortunate because singularity doesn't work on Centurions when they still have armor, or rather when they still have shields. So we can try using this marksman here. This Centurion does seem to be focusing exclusively on us right now, which is kind of a good thing because that means we can take out the other guys in the meantime, and... Oh. Hold on. So this is our SMG, for what it's worth. Yeah, our friends have a better line of sight on... You still have shields on. That's a problem. So now we stasis. Now we shoot you, so that you no longer have any shields. So now we can singularity you. And now we can detonate that to make you go boom. And you actually saw it there, that the stasis, as we saw in the description, it does break down after the enemies start to take a certain amount of damage, and so the Centurion actually fell out of that stasis. We just immediately followed up with a singularity, so it didn't really matter. He wasn't actually able to do much of anything to us. So there's one of the Guardians that we theoretically, I think, removed the shield on, but we just don't have a great angle on this guy, so I think we gotta move in a little bit closer to understand what we're dealing with here. We also have a guardian down there, apparently. Okay, now I see. Let's move the singularity, so it can actually hit you, and then make you do cartwheels, and then make you go boom. Is that the last of them? Might have been. Sounds like it. Okay, so yeah, I definitely did like us being up there and having our squad mates down there. So one thing to bear in mind is, like in Mass Effect 2, I don't remember if this was the case in Mass Effect 1, but when we're using squad mates' abilities, at least from the power wheel here, the abilities are being treated from Shepard's perspective, or at least from an aiming perspective. It is considering whether Shepard has a clean line of sight on enemies, not if our teammates have a clean line of sight. For example, when our teammates were down there hiding in that corner, and we were up here, and there was a Centurion that was starting to come up to try to flank us. There was the Centurion, I believe, was starting to hide either behind there or maybe behind here, and our teammates might have had line of sight on it, which meant they could have theoretically used abilities of their own accord and taken it out that way, but at least from our angle, we were not able to hit the Centurion with a stasis because there was this crate in between us and the Centurion. Even though Liara might have had a clean line of sight, it's Shepard's line of sight that matters, even when it's our teammates using the ability. Okay, so anything else down here? I mean, technically we've been down here already, so I don't think so. Let's save just in case. And we did use the marksman ability at one point there. Again, it was us directing Ashley to do so, and so we're not sure if we ever saw her independently choose marksman, but I mean, I'm pretty sure she was still doing what she was supposed to do there and didn't actually freeze up. So I think our marksman test continues to return, not conclusive, but at least initially some good results. All right, now let's get this thing moving.
Storm's getting bad. We better wrap this up quickly.
The archives are right on the other side.
That and a squad of pissed off Cerberus troops.
Oh, that's not good. Okay, now this will become the most difficult encounter that we have had thus far in this mission, I believe. So that means if we have things like grenades remaining, now might be the time to use them. Granted, for Shepard, we do have to bear in mind the trajectory of the grenades. They do kind of get lobbed, and so if you try to throw them at an enemy that is this far away, chances are we are not good enough at throwing to get them that far unless we kind of like give it an additional arc to the throw. However, for our teammates and their grenades, they just immediately hit the enemies or the location that we have locked on here. So that means we could use Ashley's Inferno Grenade right now, and if we think there are a lot of troopers in this area, which based on our minimap in the bottom right corner, it looks like there are, then that might be worth giving a shot here. Technically, the Inferno Grenade primes, and then that concussive shot would have been the way to detonate them, so would have been great, again, if our teammates had not chosen to use their own ability here, although I think that was, as we can see there, Ashley is glowing a bit. I think she did choose marksman, so this will be an interesting test. This will be definitive. If Ashley gets stuck here, then that's our answer. She still gets stuck. There is still a bug for marksman. If she does not, then it's fixed. But I think we still go for it. Okay, that hit a bunch of them. So you can see, it's kind of hard to tell from here, but they have a fiery effect around them, so they are primed for fire explosions. And warp is what is sometimes referred to as a universal detonator. As I was saying before, there are some abilities that can only detonate certain types of combos. Warp, however, as a universal detonator, can detonate any type of combo. We've been primarily doing biotic combos, but it does work with fire combos as well. That is, assuming you hit the enemies, which we may not have done there. No, I think we did. I think it went boom. I think they went boom. Because things do look awfully fiery. Not sure why it's telling us to swap weapons at the moment, but we could also proceed to throw you out the air. I really wanted you to go flying completely out of this area. Okay, so they're getting pretty close here, of course. Let's Singularity you. I suppose Singularity could also take you floating out. Oh, yeah, you're floating out. You're about to be floating out, and, you know, once the Singularity wears out, you're probably going to fall to your death. Or we could, you know, actually just detonate the warp and explore. You could basically avoid the warp because you might have floated outside the range of the Singularity? That might be what just happened there. I think you're primed still by the warp, though, so yep. We can detonate it like that.
Assertions about the value of the data stored here.
Okay, well, I mean, those guys do appear to be dead. Are there any more where they came from, or is that all? And I didn't really take note of if Ashley was continuing to fight the remainder of that confrontation there, but she's walking around now, so it seems like the answer is that marksman does work for Ashley, so that's great. Okay, anything else here? We just activating this tram? Excuse me? And if so, do we do that here? It looks like it. What's up, Core? Happy New Year, how are you? Okay, we got a whole bunch of friends. Yeah, that previous encounter may not have been so bad. This might have been the one I was thinking of, because I can see there, that's a Centurion. That's a whole lot of basic troopers. So, I think this might be another situation where grenades make a lot of sense. So, they're really good for detonations. So what if we go Singularity first? This front guy. Except that might have just hit the wall directly in front of us. I think that hit the wall directly in front of us. Let's proceed to cluster grenade, though. They threw a grenade at us. That's not good. Because that hurt a lot. And now they're starting to flank us. This is not a good sign. They are right there, and they're starting to flank to the right as well. Let's have... I don't know if that guy is close enough to be primed by the Singularity or not. The Singularity placement is quite unfortunate. We just rushed it a little too much, and the wall there had not yet come down. Let's have Liara try to warp that guy. We are in serious trouble right now. We probably should first aid to heal ourselves up, just in case. Okay. Now we are at least doing a little bit... That's a grenade as well that they tried to throw at us, but it bounced off the wall and is now going to hit them instead. So that's cool. Alright, except they've gone through our barriers again. Let us... Singularity you. Ooh, stop hitting us, please. That's the Centurion. Liara, you probably didn't want to go out there. But if you could be so kind as to stasis that Centurion, that'd be lovely. This Assault Trooper. Is that our Singularity or is that Liara's Singularity? I don't remember, but we are now... oh, and Ashley has moved in as well. Yeah, Liara's going to be on cooldown for a while after having used her stasis, because that is a really long cooldown. I'm thinking we are probably about to throw a bunch of grenades. Like, a bunch of grenades. So there's Ashley's Inferno Grenade. And so the idea there is that we proceed to warp to detonate that. Then you are not dead. Let's change that. Or at least knock you down. Now you should be dead. Vids, you're firing your weapon. Yeah, occasionally we'll fire our weapon. That was a grenade that was right on top of us. And I did not see it until it was very clearly right on top of us. Well. I saw it. I was like, oh, we're dead, aren't we? Yup. Oh, it Usually, it shows up early enough that you have some time to react. For whatever reason, I only saw it at the very last second there. Alright, let's resume. I mean, our beginning of that confrontation was obviously less than ideal. Okay, so there's the Prothean core that we're trying to get to. There's a non-zero chance that if you rush to that you can just end this encounter, but not sure we want to go for that here. So last time what happened was I was trying to open with a singularity to crowd control all these guys and set them up for a big biotic explosion with a warp soon thereafter, but our singularity hit a glass wall here, because apparently there was a glass wall in this tram that I did not realize was here, and it took a second for it to go down. Is that glass wall down or not right now? Because I'm not sure. So we might be about to have the same thing happen to us. We have the same thing happen to us. Let's try again. Because that's what we were looking for. I did hear a grenade. Let's use grenades of our own and then back up. Okay. So that's a Centurion. Let's stasis him and try to shoot some peoples. Once again, it's just the walls are not doing us any favors here. Yes, we'll actually fire our weapon on occasion. Perhaps. Maybe. Possibly. And love, if you were not standing in the smoke, because we can't really target at least that guy who's closest to us right now. There are definitely some people over there. I would love if we could actually get the singularity to go to a helpful place. It is now actually in a helpful place. Let's blow it up on them. That is definitely still our best answer for maximizing damage. So let's see, there is a Centurion back there. It does still have shields, so we can't use singularity on it yet. It will not work when they have shields on. That is the danger of them. Did you get hit by that? Yes, you did get hit by that singularity. Let's blow you up then. So the basic troopers are the easy ones to get rid of in that case. Okay, there are several people over here, including that Centurion. Let's stasis the Centurion again. That is the only way we can crowd control it when it still has the shields on. That's a grenade right there on Ashley. So let's try to get her to retreat. Meanwhile, we will try to blow up these guys here in the corner. Ashley, you really gotta move. You're right on top of that grenade. She just took it. Took it like a boss. I mean, she's the tankiest of all of us right now, so that definitely has something to do with it. As you saw before, we died when that same exact thing happened to us. So, okay, you are about to die. So, like, I'm gonna say maybe we don't waste a cooldown on you, but then again, didn't really work. Trying to shoot you. Somehow you still avoided us. Okay, so this Centurion is a real problem. We need to get rid of your shields, because otherwise we just... technically they do get resilience to... resistance to stasis if we stasis the same enemy over and over again. We might be approaching that point if this is truthfully the same Centurion we've tried to stasis numerous times, because it might be. So, does warp still prime shielded enemies? I know the damage is bad, but I think it might still at least prime them. I heard a grenade, but I don't see it, and that is scary. We know what happened last time. Alright, so that guy is primed by warp. I think we chuck more cluster grenades. Oh, that was... okay, no, that was one of our own cluster grenades that happened to bounce back right in front of us. But I thought it was one of their grenades that was going to blow up right in front of us and kill us. I am sorry for shouting. Really want to get rid of that Centurion's shields. There is, again, an independent marksman. Okay, now you don't have shields. That's huge. That means we can actually singularity you. So you can stop being really annoying. And we have multiple people here who are currently in the singularity. That one closer to us is Liara's, but this Centurion here is a higher priority. Did you still not get hit by the... or not get sucked up by the singularity? How dare you? Okay, so we primed with warp in that case. Now we'll throw to detonate. Warp can't detonate its own prime. Take a second, try to get shields back here. Can we get you through that cover? Kinda, sorta, but not really. Singularity you. Yeah, so Ashley is definitely able to do stuff even after having activated a marksman, so that's good stuff. Okay, there is another Centurion. Still don't know if you have resistance. You do not. So we can shoot you. So that was the goal of the Singularity, or rather of the Stasis, was to freeze you long enough that we could shoot down your shields. Then it has now taken enough damage that Singularity wore off, or rather the Stasis wore off, so we can hit you with the Singularity, just to mix up all the terms. But of course I missed on the Singularity. There we go. Now we blow you up. And we were hoping they were close enough that they were going to also get exploded. That's a Guardian. So that Guardian is shielded and will not take damage from most of our abilities, although this might be a good time for another Inferno Grenade from Ashley. Because I thought that could hit through Guardian shields, but maybe we should pull it off. Probably should have done that first, just in case. That Assault Trooper might die to the damage over time from that Inferno Grenade, but let's throw a Warp in here, just because there's what looks to be a lot of stuff happening over that area at the moment. That Guardian is definitely primed with Warps. Let's throw him for an explosion. It's still not as strong of a combo for the explosion as Singularity plus Warp, because Singularity is fully leveled up, whereas Throw is not. That might be another Guardian that's getting close to us here. I think it is. You looked like you were in the Singularity for a split second, but now you aren't? That's illegal? Okay, combined arms. Achievement unlocked. That is, I believe, for the combination, well, the detonations, which we are, of course, doing pretty much exclusively here. Try to move this to actually get you. There we go. Oh, do you still have a shield on? You still have a shield on, don't you? Get rid of that. There we go. Now you're shieldless. Now you get lifted. Now you can get exploded. Is that the last of them? I believe that was the last of them. So yes, that was definitely the most difficult encounter thus far for this mission. We actually needed to fire our weapon. What's this nonsense? It's absolute nonsense indeed. So let's definitely save. Let's see. Do we... 4 points with Shepard. Have we leveled up since last time we checked in? Not sure we have. We do have enough points for another Stasis upgrade, but I think we were considering that previously and decided we'd rather wait to upgrade Warp ammo on a later occasion. Okay, so there's lots of ammo here to be had, which is actually relevant on this occasion. There you see, our reload with basically all the starting weapons is lightning fast, so it is one of the few upsides to them. They are otherwise just very low damage. Let's see, anything else loot-wise that we want to pick up here before we head out? And is that going to be our way out? Perhaps. There appears to be, yep, medical station here. Let's nab that. I think we actually did use a Metagel. Was that on our previous attempt where we ate a grenade? It might have been. Okay, before we do that, let's see. We have the M15 Vindicator, which is a new assault rifle, actually. So that's definitely worth checking out. Now, that might be worth giving to... I mean, we can equip it, yes, but it's going to be very heavy. And so, as you see there, it's heavier than the Avenger, and we start getting to not nearly as good power recharge speed. I mean, we'd probably end up getting rid of our SMG in that case, but let's pass on that. It is more likely something we would consider giving to Ashley instead, so she's currently using the Avenger. The Vindicator... It's heavier, but weight doesn't really matter for our squad mates. Capacity looks a little lower, so not as much ammo, but also not a huge deal for our teammates. They can't run out of ammo. They do still need to reload when their clip gets empty, but the fire rate is slightly worse, but the damage is higher. The accuracy is better. I think it's still better because, well, although it's not an amazing weapon, the Avenger is pretty horrendous. So I think we do give it to Ashley here. Then, other than that, ooh, shotgun shredder mod. That is also very nice. We currently do not have anyone of our squad mates that can use shotguns. I mean, we could have switched to a shotgun just then, but it is no longer an option to do so because we no longer can do that weapon selection stuffs, since we have already picked up that weapon, and that was not actually a workbench. So, let's see. Oh, one thing would be worth doing is, can we get grenades here? Because we did use some. We actually used several. And it'd be really nice to reload on those right now, but it doesn't seem like they are here anywhere. They do automatically get restocked at the beginning of every mission, so when we're done with this one, we start a new one up, then we'll be fine, but if we have reason to use them in the future for this mission, then, well, we will have a limited number. But anyways.
Ash.
And that looks like a Prothean beacon, likely the thing we are trying to get here. And that
Shepard.
is the Elusive Man.
Elusive man.
A hologram of him, at least.
Fascinating race, the Protheans. They left all this for us to discover, but we squandered it. The Alliance has known about the archives for more than 30 years. And what have they done with it?
What do you want?
What I've always wanted. The data in these artifacts holds the key to solving the Reaper threat.
I've seen your solution. Your people are turned into monsters.
Hardly. They're being improved.
Improved?
That's what separates us, Shepard. Where you see a means to destroy, I see a way to control, to dominate and harness the Reaper's power. Imagine how strong humanity would be if we controlled them.
So this is the leader of Cerberus, the group that we've been fighting, and the group that we were working for in the previous game, and this guy was our boss, in that sense, of sorts at least. But trying to control the Reapers, now we've heard of many people trying to do something like that in the past, and all of them have failed, and failed miserably at that. You know, the whole indoctrination thing kind of is a thing, and it usually backfires for that very reason. So I think you're wasting your time.
Earth is under siege, and you're hatching a scheme to control the Reapers?
You've always been short-sighted, hasty. Your destruction of the Collector base proved that.
That base was an abomination. Hundreds of thousands of humans were murdered there.
This isn't your fight any longer, Shepard. You can't defeat the Reapers, even with the Prothean data.
Whew. Alright then, Elusive Man. If it isn't our job, you're saying it's yours and yours alone? I don't know about that. Help us then.
Work with me. Give me control of your resources, and I'll stop them.
You'd do better than most, but the odds aren't in your favor. More importantly, I don't want the Reapers destroyed. We can dominate them, use their power, harness their very essence to bring humanity to the apex of evolution.
Yeah, there's just no way that is ever going to work based on everything that we have seen in Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2. Every time, it has not ended well for people who have tried to do things like that.
You've gone too far. The Reapers will kill us all if we don't stop fighting each other.
I don't expect you to understand, Shepard, and I'm certainly not looking for your approval.
You were a tool, an agent with a singular purpose, and despite our differences, you were relatively successful. But like the rest of the relics in this place, your time is over.
Enough talk. Liara.
Don't interfere with my plan, Shepard. I won't warn you again.
Duly noted.
Shepard,
What?
the data, it's not here.
Elusive Man? Phew.
It's being erased.
So he's the leader of Cerberus,
Goodbye, Shepard.
the pro-human group
Damn it. How's he doing it?
that are basically
Local,
terrorists.
Someone's uploading the information.
Someone's deleting and then uploading the information elsewhere.
Hey, step away from the console. Now!
What? I'm guessing this is Dr. Corey.
She's got the data! She's faster than she looks.
Stay close.
And now, we need to chase her. And she will run away. And we can sprint to follow her, yes. However, you want to be a little bit careful. You can lose if she gets too far away from you, but she will do that. Actually, how do I... Oh. There she is.
Stay on her.
She went all ninjas. She can shoot incinerates at you. Like that. To deal damage to us if we get too close to her. So you want to be a little bit careful for that reason. Also, attacking her, not the best idea. Because she actually has a lot of shield regeneration. So much so, in fact, that doing so will basically just have her immediately recover any damage she takes. There are technically... Ooh! Cerberus troopers who are giving her some support fire here, which normally are not significant enough to pose a problem. However, as you can see, on this occasion, perhaps they do, because we are an inch from death right now. Okay, Liara, if you could just singularity these guys, meanwhile, we'll see if we can get a first aid off in time to actually live. And that incinerate probably would have killed us too, if that hit us. So, yeah.
James, you read me?
She's continuing to make a run for it.
Cerberus has the data.
She does look kind of weird the way she's running.
Radio the Normandy. Get them down here now.
There are the incinerates. And she, at times, she looks like she's running on the treadmill. Oh, and you can see the distance in the bottom right corner, how far away from us she is. And so that is what will, at times, there's a ladder here somewhere. Determine, oh, she's right here. Determine whether she's far enough away to successfully escape, in which case you will lose.
Damn it. James, Normandy, anybody.
I got this one.
James? You sure that was the right answer? There he is.
Normandy's en route. They'll be here soon.
We need the data.
But we may not be done here yet. What? That doesn't look good.
Let her go.
Orders?
Finish her.
Ooh, that's not good for Ashley. And now Robot Lady is coming for us. And this is why you have to have a specific weapon equipped, because she can rush you down and kill you automatically if you have slow-firing weapons for that procedure right there.
We got Reaper signatures in orbit. Ashley.
She just got her head smashed into the wall repeatedly by some kind of super robot lady. That looks like a Reaper.
Ashley needs medical attention. We have to leave the Sol system.
I know.
The Citadel is our best chance. We can find help there.
Get us to the Citadel, Joker.
Roger that.
Hold on, Ash. See what you and Edie can learn from that thing.
Commander, I'm receiving a signal over the secondary QEC. I believe it's Admiral Hackett.
Patch me through.
I'll forward it to the comm room.
Shepard, are you reading me? Commander.
Edie, can you clear this up?
I'll do my best.
Did you get to the archives?
I was there. So was the elusive man.
I was worried Cerberus might try something. Did you get the data?
Most of it. He downloaded some before I could stop him. Edie and Liara are analyzing what we recovered.
What have you learned? Was it worth the effort?
Preliminary evidence suggests the data is a blueprint for a Prothean device.
Device?
A weapon, massive in size and scope, that's capable of unquantifiable levels of destruction.
Send me the data. We'll do our own analysis. If Liara's instincts are right, this might be the key to stopping the Reapers.
I hope so. Lieutenant Commander Williams was critically wounded. We're taking her to the Citadel.
Sorry to hear that, Shepard. But we both know this is just the beginning. Talk to the Council, show them what you found. With luck, they'll give you all the support we need.
And if they don't?
Do whatever it takes to get them on board. I'll be in touch soon. Hack it out.
Commander, Edie is extracting data from the Cerberus machine. We'll have details to present to the Council by the time we reach the Citadel.
And Lieutenant Commander Williams?
I've done what I can for her. She needs proper medical attention soon. The Admiral's right. It's going to get worse, isn't it?
Unless we stop the Reapers. Yeah.
I've looked at the data. This weapon could be the answer if we can build it. I get the sense you don't quite believe it, though.
Yeah, so basically we've got some kind of data, presumably really complicated data, that we have not yet made much sense out of, but somehow Liara has found a way to at least preliminarily determine that it seems to be some kind of weapon, but what kind of weapon? If it's capable of serious destruction, then, I mean, how do we make sure that we use it against the Reapers specifically and don't have it, backfire on us? That would be a chief concern. So it is a little hard to believe that we can use this thing that we just barely understand at this point, but maybe.
You didn't see what they did to Earth. How is one weapon supposed to stop them?
What are our options? You know we can't win this conventionally. Commander? Isn't it worth trying at least?
I'm going to check on Ashley and James. Make sure we're ready to present our findings to the Council.
I'm sure the Council will see the need to help.
It'll be a hell of a short war if they don't.
So this is the Citadel. The center of the Milky Way galactic community.